The room went dead silent when Rasheeda's lawyer slid the stack of documents across the polished mahogany table. Cameras weren't supposed to be rolling yet, but you could hear the faint click of someone hitting record on their phone. These weren't just any papers, they were the receipts, the kind that could flip a marriage, a career, and a reputation upside down in a matter of minutes. At the top of the stack, bank statements. Pages and pages of transactions from accounts Rasheeda didn't even know existed for months. Whispers had been circulating that Kirk Frost was moving money around, keeping cash tucked away where no one could trace it. Some thought it was just messy rumors, till now. The lawyer leaned forward, his voice calm but deadly. These are in his name, and they've been active for years. Rasheeda's eyes didn't blink. The silence in that room was suffocating, broken only by the shuffle of papers as each damning page was revealed. Offshore deposits, wire transfers to mystery accounts, withdrawals so large they made everyone present gasp. And just when you thought it couldn't get more scandalous, the final page hit the table. Proof that one of these accounts had been used last week. The account Kirk swore didn't exist. The look on Rasheeda's face said it all. This wasn't just financial betrayal. This was the kind of bombshell that could blow the doors off everything they'd built together. And trust me, this is only the beginning. The conference room smelled faintly of coffee and fresh ink. But all Rasheeda could focus on was the slow, deliberate way her lawyer slid each document across the table. He didn't rush. He didn't flinch. He knew exactly what he was doing, building suspense like a scene from a courtroom drama. Kirk Frost, the lawyer began, tapping the top page with a manicured finger, has maintained at least 3 accounts that were never disclosed to you, your financial advisors, or the joint filings. Rasheeda's hands tightened around the armrest of her chair. 3, she asked, her voice dangerously calm. 3 that we know of, he replied. The first statement showed deposits going back years, the amounts small at first, then growing. Larger, $15,000 here, $22,000 there. The dates painted a clear timeline. These weren't old accounts accidentally left open. They were active. Very active. Her mind replayed every conversation where Kirk swore their finances were transparent. Every time she asked about missing money and he claimed it went to business expenses. Now, staring at proof of transfers to banks in Miami, Los Angeles, and even the Cayman Islands. The pit in her stomach turned into a raging fire. The lawyer pushed forward another set of documents. These, he said, are wire transfer confirmations. Notice the recipient names. Rasheeda scanned the pages. One name jumped out instantly, someone she recognized, Tasha Reed. She said aloud. Her lawyer nodded. Do you know her, Rasheeda's jaw clenched. Tasha was an old acquaintance, someone Kirk had once described as just a business contact. Yet here she was, tied to a transfer of $40,000. Before she could process it, the next page revealed another name, one she absolutely didn't expect, Janelle Frost. Her breath caught. His cousin. Not exactly, the lawyer said. Legally, no relation. Rasheeda's eyes narrowed. Then why does she have his last name? That, the lawyer replied, is something we intend to find out. Her mind spiraled. Was Janelle a mistress? A cover name? Someone holding funds for him? Every possibility felt worse than the last. She leaned back, trying to keep her composure. But her lawyer wasn't finished. We also have proof, he continued, that one of these accounts was accessed just last week. And here's the kicker. The withdrawal was made less than 24 hours before your joint credit card bill was due. He moved money out before the bank could freeze assets. Rasheeda's chest tightened. That wasn't just sneaky, that was premeditated. Her phone buzzed on the table. 'Twas a text from an unknown number. I know where the rest of the money is. Call me before he moves it again. She slid the phone toward the lawyer, who glanced at it and frowned. Do you want to respond? Not yet, she said, her voice steady but cold. I want to hear the rest. The lawyer flipped to the final page. was a screenshot from a private banking app, the logo of an offshore bank clearly visible. The balance, $218,000, and right below it, a recent transaction marked, Property Lease Payment, Atlanta. Rasheeda blinked. Property lease? We don't have any other properties. That's correct, the lawyer said, which means someone does, and he's paying for it. Her heart dropped. Images of secret condos, hidden rendezvous, and whispered conversations flooded her mind. The lawyer leaned forward. If this is tied to another residence, we can subpoena records, security footage, even visitor logs. But you need to prepare yourself for what we might find. Rasheeda stared at the stack of documents. She thought she'd been through every possible betrayal with Kirk, the rumors, the women, the public humiliation. But this was different. It wasn't just about love. It was about money, power, control. Her lawyer's voice broke through her thoughts. Do you want to confront him directly? Or do we play this quietly until we have everything? She hesitated. If I go quiet, he'll know something's up. He'll move faster. But if I confront him now, she trailed off, imagining Kirk's face when confronted with irrefutable proof. The lawyer offered a thin smile. I can arrange for a very strategic confrontation. Cameras rolling, witnesses present. He won't see it coming. Rasheeda nodded slowly. Do it? Just then, her phone buzzed again. Same unknown number. He's meeting her tonight, Midtown, 9 p.m. Bring a camera if you don't believe me. Her pulse quickened. Was this about the mystery property? Was her Tasha, Janelle, someone else entirely? The lawyer glanced at the message and smirked. Looks like we might not have to wait long. For the next few hours, Rasheeda's world became a flurry of quiet preparation. The lawyer made calls, arranging for a discreet investigator and a camera crew for documentation purposes. Rasheeda, meanwhile, kept her face neutral as she texted Kirk about dinner plans, pretending nothing was wrong. He replied casually, claiming he had business meetings all night. By 8:45 p.m., she was parked 2 blocks from a sleek Midtown high-rise. Her lawyer in the passenger seat and the investigator tailing Kirk's black SUV from a distance. The building's lobby glowed under golden lights, and through the glass, Rasheeda could see a woman pacing. Checking her phone at exactly 9 p.m., Kirk walked in. No hesitation, no looking over his shoulder. He greeted the woman with a hug. Not businesslike, but warm, familiar. Rasheeda's breath caught. The investigator's camera clicked rapidly, catching every angle. They disappeared into the elevator, and the investigator slipped in behind them. Minutes later, he texted, penthouse level. Door 1402, Rasheeda's stomach churned. The lawyer placed a reassuring hand on her arm. We'll handle this. Don't go in yet. But Rasheeda wasn't listening. Her anger had reached a boiling point. She stepped out of the car, her heels clicking against the pavement like gunshots. Inside, the doorman recognized her instantly. Mrs. Frost, he started, but she breezed past, eyes locked on the elevator. She pressed the button for the top floor. Her reflection in the mirrored walls, a portrait of fury and determination. When the doors slid open, the hallway was silent. Until she reached 1402. Voices drifted from inside. Kirk's laugh, the clink of glasses, and a woman's voice she couldn't place. Rasheeda didn't knock. She turned the handle. The door wasn't locked. And there, in the middle of a luxurious, dimly lit penthouse, was Kirk, standing beside a woman holding a glass of champagne, both looking stunned as Rasheeda stepped inside. Her lawyer's words echoed in her mind. Prepare yourself for what we might find. But nothing could have prepared her for this. The air in the penthouse was thick with shock. Kirk froze mid-laugh, the champagne glass in his hand tilting dangerously before he set it down. The woman beside him, tall, elegant, wearing a silk robe like she owned the place, stiffened when she saw Rasheeda standing in the doorway. Rasheeda, Kirk said slowly, his tone somewhere between disbelief and damage control. What are you doing here? She took a few steps inside, her heels sinking slightly into the plush carpet. I think the better question is, Kirk, what are you doing here? The woman's eyes darted between them, her grip tightening on the stem of her glass. "Maybe I should," she began. But Rasheeda cut her off without even looking at her. "Don't move," Rasheeda said sharply. "I want to know who you are, and why my husband is standing in a penthouse I've never seen before with you." Kirk exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck. "This isn't what it looks like." Rasheeda laughed, cold, humorless. "That's exactly what liars say when they've been caught red-handed. Her lawyer, who had followed her up moments later, was now standing just inside the doorway with a small camera crew. The sudden sight of lenses pointed at him made Kirk's eyes widen. "What the hell is this?" "You brought cameras." "Yes," Rasheeda said without flinching. "Because every time I confront you, you twist it. You flip the story. This time, the world gets to see the truth." Kirk's jaw clenched. "You're out of line, Rasheeda." "No, you're out of line," she shot back. "Out of line with our marriage, out of line with our money, and out of line with the law. You think I don't know about the accounts? The transfers? The payments to Tasha, to Janelle," and she turned her eyes on the woman in the robe, "to whoever this is." The woman straightened her shoulders. "My name is Camille," she said softly, almost like she'd rehearsed it. I don't know what you've been told, but Kirk and you don't know what I've been told?" Rasheeda's voice cracked like a whip. "I've been told enough to know my husband's been hiding over 200 grand in accounts he swore didn't exist. And guess what? The address tied to one of those accounts is this place." Kirk stepped forward, his hands out like he was calming a wild animal. "Listen, this is a business investment. Camille is a business investment." Rasheeda barked out a laugh. "That's cute. I didn't realize champagne in a silk robe came standard with commercial real estate deals." The cameras caught every flicker of emotion across his face, the twitch in his jaw, a flash of irritation in his eyes, the way he avoided her gaze when she stepped closer. Her lawyer spoke up for the first time. "Mr. Frost, we have documented proof linking your undisclosed accounts to this property, and we have the right to investigate how marital funds are being used." Camille shifted uncomfortably. "I didn't know he was married," she blurted. Rasheeda whipped around. "You didn't what?" Camille held up her hands. "He told me he was separated, thought the marriage was just for the public." He said, "Stop." Kirk barked, his voice cracking under the pressure. "Camille, don't say another word." But it was too late. The damage was done. Rasheeda's lip curled, separated. "That's the story you've been selling now?" Kirk looked like he wanted to disappear. "It's not like that. You don't understand." "I understand perfectly," Rasheeda cut in, her voice trembling with controlled rage. "You've been funneling money into accounts I never knew existed. Buying secret properties and playing house with other women while I'm out here defending you to the world." Her phone buzzed again in her purse. Without breaking eye contact, she pulled it out. Another message from that same unknown number. "Check the desk drawer. Bottom right, proof." Her eyes narrowed. Slowly, she walked toward the sleek mahogany desk in the corner of the penthouse living room. Kirk moved as if to block her, but the lawyer stepped between them. "Let her." The lawyer said calmly. Rasheeda yanked open the bottom right drawer. Inside was a manila envelope, thick with papers. She dumped the contents onto the desk. Gasps filled the room. Bank receipts, lease agreements, and photos, dozens of them, showing Kirk in various settings with different women, some in restaurants, others in hotel rooms. Dates and times printed in the corners. Kirk's voice was hoarse. "You went through my private." "These aren't private," Rasheeda snapped. "These are ours. Every dollar in these accounts was supposed to be part of our life, our future. Instead, you turned it into your playground." Camille backed away, clearly realizing she was part of something much bigger than she'd been told. "I didn't sign up for this," she whispered, grabbing her bag and heading for the door. Kirk tried to follow her, but Rasheeda's lawyer blocked him. "We're not done here." The tension was electric. Kirk's eyes darted from Rasheeda to the cameras to the papers on the desk. "You think you've got me figured out?" he said finally. "You don't even know half of it." Rasheeda stepped forward, her voice like ice. Then tell me, right now, who else? How many accounts? How many properties? How many women? Kirk's silence was answer enough. The lawyer leaned in. You understand that if we proceed with legal action, these documents can and will be entered as evidence, correct? Kirk's mouth twisted into something between a smirk and a snarl. Do what you gotta do. Rasheeda's voice dropped too, a deadly whisper. Oh, I will. She gathered the papers, shoving them back into the envelope. And when I'm done, you won't just lose me. You'll lose every dime you thought you could hide. As she turned to leave, Kirk's phone buzzed. On the counter. The screen lit up with a notification that froze her mid-step. It was a banking alert. $50,000 withdrawal from Cayman account ending in 7421. She spun around. You're still moving money? Right now? Kirk's eyes flickered with panic for the first time that night. Her lawyer snatched up the phone. We can trace this in real time. He's moving funds tonight. We can lock it down before they disappear completely. Rasheeda's voice was steady, but her hands were shaking. Then, let's move. Right now. They headed for the door, the cameras following every step. But as they reached the hallway, Kirk called after her. His voice low and chilling. You think you've won, he said, but you just started a war you can't finish, Rasheeda. Didn't look back. We'll see. The elevator ride down felt like it took hours, though it was only seconds. Rasheeda's pulse thudded in her ears. Each ding of the floor indicator another reminder that time was slipping away, and with it the money Kirk was trying to move. Her lawyer was already on the phone, speaking in rapid clipped sentences. To a contact at the bank. This is urgent, he said firmly. We need to initiate a freeze on all accounts tied to the name Kirk Frost, including offshore holdings ending in 7,421. Yes, Cayman Islands, that's correct. No, this cannot wait until morning. Rasheeda's phone buzzed again, this time with a flood of social media notifications. Clips from the penthouse confrontation were already circulating. One shaky video showed her standing over the desk. With the envelope of evidence, the caption reading, Rasheeda finally catches Kirk red-handed. #Frostgate. The comment sections were chaos. Fans were tagging her, tagging Kirk, tagging VH1 producers. The story was already spiraling. She ignored it. The only thing she cared about was locking down the accounts before Kirk drained them. Completely. The lawyer hung up and turned to her. Got an emergency hold on the primary offshore account? Thought he's clever. If he's been planning this, there's likely a secondary transfer point. Hey, we need to figure out where that $50,000 is heading right now. As they stepped out into the parking garage, the investigator who'd tailed Kirk earlier jogged over, holding up his phone. You're gonna want to see this. On the screen was a series of surveillance stills from a private airport hangar, time-stamped just 30 minutes before Rasheeda stormed a penthouse. The images showed a man in a hoodie, face partially obscured, handing a sealed envelope to a woman in oversized sunglasses. But the angle caught just enough. The man's build and posture were unmistakably Kirk's. Who is she? Rasheeda asked, her voice tight. The investigators zoomed in on the final frame. That's Monique Hayes, real estate broker. And according to my records, she's also the registered agent for a holding company tied to one of Kirk's other accounts. Rasheeda's stomach churned. This isn't just about a side chick or a property. He's laundering money through her business. The lawyer's expression darkened. That's true, this escalates from marital misconduct to potential criminal charges. Fia. They piled into Rasheeda's SUV, the investigator feeding directions to a nondescript office building on the outskirts of town. Monique's last known location. When they arrived, the building was dark except for a single light on the second floor. The investigator stayed in the car while Rasheeda and her lawyer climbed the narrow staircase to the lit office. The door was ajar. Inside, Monique sat behind a desk, counting stacks of cash. The sight made Rasheeda's blood boil. Well, Rasheeda said, stepping into the light. Looks like we found the middleman. Monique's head snapped up, her eyes widening. What are you doing here? You've got my husband's money all over this desk, Rasheeda shot back. Maybe you can tell me where the rest of it is. Monique straightened, masking her initial shock with icy composure. This is business. Nothing personal. Business, Rasheeda laughed bitterly. That's what you people keep calling it. Meanwhile, you're hiding funds that were supposed to be part of my marriage, my life. Ha! And I'm not leaving until I know where it's all going. The lawyer stepped forward. We have the legal right to seize these assets pending investigation. You can cooperate now or explain to the police why you're in possession of funds from an account under emergency. Freeze. Freeze. Monique's jaw tightened. You think you know the whole story? You don't. That money isn't staying here. Already on its way overseas. Rasheeda's heart sank. To where? Monique hesitated, then smirked. Ask Kirk. Before Rasheeda could respond, the lawyer's phone buzzed with a notification from the bank. His face went pale. It's too late. The funds were routed through 3 separate accounts and then wired to Paris. Paris, Rasheeda echoed, confused. The lawyer scrolled through the alert. Not just Paris. A private trust under the name of Lauren Frost. The name hit Rasheeda like a physical blow. Lauren. Who the hell is Lauren? Monique gave a cold little laugh. Guess you didn't know about her either. Rasheeda's mind raced. Was Lauren another mistress? A fake identity? A family member she'd never heard of? Whatever the truth was, Kirk had gone to extraordinary lengths to hide it and to make sure. Lauren's name was tied to hundreds of thousands of dollars. The lawyer snapped photos of everything on Monique's desk while Rasheeda stood frozen. Her nails digging into her palm. Finally, she spoke. You tell Lauren, she said to Monique, that I'm coming for her too. And when I'm done, there won't be a safe place left in this world for either of them. They left the office, the investigator already making calls to contacts. In Paris. In the car, Rasheeda scrolled through her phone, searching for any trace of a Lauren Frost. And then she founded a private Instagram account with only a few followers. The profile picture was blurry, but the bio made her blood run cold. Paris is forever. Her phone buzzed again. This time, it was a direct message from that same account. No greeting, no explanation, just a single photo attachment. She opened it. The image showed Kirk, arm around a woman in sunglasses standing in front of a Parisian cafe. The date stamp was last month, and the caption, My Forever. Rasheeda's breath caught, her vision tunneling. The lawyer looked over her shoulder and muttered, We've got our next lead. But before they could make a plan, Rasheeda's phone rang. No caller ID, she answered cautiously. A woman's voice, smooth and accented, purred through the line. You're wasting your time, Rasheeda. He's mine now, and so is the money. The line went dead. Rasheeda sat there, gripping the phone so tightly her knuckles went white. This wasn't just about bank accounts anymore. This was about war, across countries, across continents, and across every line Kirk thought she wouldn't cross. She turned to her lawyer, her voice steady but laced with venom. Book me a flight to Paris. And just like that, what started as a quiet legal meeting in Atlanta has exploded into an international manhunt for answers and money. Rasheeda now holds proof of hidden accounts, offshore transfers, secret properties, and a mysterious woman in Paris who not only has Kirk's money, but seems to have his loyalty too. From penthouse confrontations to cash-counting brokers, every step of this journey has peeled back another layer of lies, each one more outrageous than the last. The receipts are piling up, the list of names is growing, and now the battlefield has shifted overseas. Will Rasheeda's trip to Paris finally bring the truth crashing down on Kirk? Or will Lauren, if that's even her real name, be one step ahead, guarding both Kirk and the fortune he's been hiding? And let's not forget, someone's been feeding Rasheeda these tips from the shadows. But are they a friend trying to help her win, or another player in this dangerous game? One thing is certain, this isn't just about betrayal anymore. This is about power, money, and the lengths people will go to protect both. The next chapter could end Kirk's career, destroy his reputation for good, and expose a network of secrets that's been quietly operating for years. So if you want the receipts before anyone else gets them, hit that like button right now. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on? And make sure you're subscribed with all notifications turned on. Because when Rasheeda lands in Paris, the first thing she finds could change everything. Sure not going to? Want to miss it?